So just about every week, I meet someone who has done everything right, but nothing is working. Okay. A lot of people come to me in particular for job advice. They're out there, they're looking for a job. They've been looking for months. Nothing's happening. Nothing's working. And they're frustrated. Okay. As recently as 8:30 this morning, it is 9:30 right now. I literally just got off this call. I was talking to someone who's extremely smart, extremely talented, extremely thoughtful, who's been searching for 9 straight months. All right. Portfolio's polished. LinkedIn's been updated. Case studies been rewritten 9 ways to Sunday. They've applied, to everything that's remotely aligned, to her skills. She was referred by friends in a couple cases. She took courses. She rebuilt her resume. So she's done all this stuff and she still hasn't gotten to the interview stage. So we're talking this morning and she goes, look, I'm honestly starting to feel like I'm not good at this. This bothers me more than I have words to explain. Okay. The self-doubt that people deal with as a result of this situation bothers me more than anything else about this fucking chaos. All right. So here's the truth I told her, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. It's not your skills. It's not your worth. It's the strategy that you were given. It's all this bullshit advice that people pile on social media every single day about how you go look for a job, about how you should apply, about what you should say, about what your LinkedIn profile should look like, your resume, your portfolio, blah, 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 whatever. Look, the facts are these. Most UX job postings from companies are copy-pasted fantasies, okay, created by committee. Recruiters skim hundreds of profiles in minutes. The hiring system was built for a bigger market and a much slower pipeline. And the advice that you get online in courses and books, in posts, in videos, YouTube videos, whatever, is years behind how this market actually works today, is years behind the shit show of UX and product design hiring right now. Okay. So what I tried to explain to her is like, look, the first part of this, all right, and some of it is just getting your confidence back, is that you have to realize you're playing a rigged game with the wrong playbook. So once we figured out what her strengths were uniquely, once we got to the point where it's like, look, stop bending yourself into pretzel-shaped form to try and be everything to everybody, to this job, to this job, to this job, to this job. All right. We reframed how she talked about her work. We built a job search system designed for this market. Okay. I've done the same thing with multiple people. I did the same thing for a young man 2 weeks ago. Okay. And he got 3 interviews inside 12 days. That's not because I hold the secret to the universe, right? Or I have some magic touch that allows people to, ta-da, I've got an interview now. It's not that. All right. It's practical. It's a lot of time over the target. And it's a lot of time spent with recruiters. It's a lot of time spent with companies, their hiring managers, their HR departments, whatever. I've done a lot of staffing with clients, as recently as several months ago. So where am I going with this? Well, there are a couple things that I want you to realize that you can do right now. All right. And the very first thing is that you have to stop leading the charge with tools and tasks. All right. You have to lead with the problems you solve, the things that you help those organizations you've worked for before. What have you helped them be or do or have? What was made better by your presence? Okay. So instead of I'm a UX designer, I'm very skilled in research and Figma and prototyping, et cetera, that's not it. It's I help teams turn messy, incomplete requirements into clear, testable user flows that drive adoption. Okay. Cut costs, increase revenue, streamline internal processes, right? Get to done faster, whatever it is. What changed as a result of your work? That is what you lead with. And they have to be things that are your unique strengths. Okay. The second thing you need to do with your case studies is you need to rewrite them in business language. Not I conducted interviews, not I did this parts of the UX process. We did prototypes and wireframes and we worked in Figma. No, I identified 4 behavior patterns that reduced false assumptions and saved us from building the wrong thing. I cut development from 6 weeks to 3 weeks because we discovered this entire part that didn't need to be done at all, even though it was in Jira, was on a requirements list. Okay. Those things move the needle. Those things communicate confidence, and confidence matters a hell of a lot more than competence in terms of how you're seen by recruiters and how you are seen inside an interview if you actually get one. And the third thing, and I can't emphasize this enough, apply to fewer jobs with higher relevance. You cannot be all things to all people. That is a recipe for 2 things. It's a recipe for being ignored, and it's a recipe for heartbreak. Because you'll be out there, you're like, I've applied to 50 jobs, 100 jobs, and nothing's happening. That's why. You are not a fit for 50 jobs or 100 jobs, okay? You're not. Quality is always, 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 always greater than quantity. You have to be trumpeting what makes you uniquely you, loud as you possibly can. This is me. This is what I am best at. This is the group of stuff that makes me better than your average stadium full of people at these things. All right. And you don't say it in a way that's arrogant, like I'm the greatest thing you're ever going to see. But you have to communicate that stuff clearly instead of, again, trying to bend yourself in a position to say, no, I'm all these things. I'm everything you want me to be. It falls flat, okay? And people can feel from a million miles away that it's not true. All right, so you're better leaning into what you're best at. You know, the example of the person I talked to this morning, she has an amazing, strong technical bent toward programming. Now, she's a hell of a designer. She's an incredible mind for UX. She's an incredible mind for interaction design and workflows and the visual expression of all that. But she has fearsome mid-tier programming logic skills. Fearsome. And she's got a shitload of experience that proves it. She's not talking about any of it on her LinkedIn profile, on her resume, or in her portfolio. And I said, look, this is who you are. You have to put this out there out loud. You are a gift. Companies are going to see this and be like, holy shit, we can get all this in one person? That's the mythical unicorn thing. She actually is one, but she's afraid to say that that's what she is. Do you understand where I'm going with this? You have to be you. That's enough. But you got to frame it in a way that says, yes, I am uniquely me, but here's the value in that. Here's the proof that this matters, has mattered to all the people I've worked for before, and here's why it will matter to you, new company that is about to give me an interview. Okay? That's my rant this morning. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that this Saturday, November 22nd in Alexandria, Virginia, my friend Rajeev Subramanian and I are fixing these exact problems live in a one-day career breakthrough workshop. This is not a lecture. It's not a panel. It's not a full day of talking head bullshit. It's work. We're going to be doing work live all day, lots of exercises and activities. So if you happen to live in the DMV, check that out in the link below. And otherwise, even if you have no interest in the event whatsoever, totally fine. But I want you to think about everything I have just told you, because it matters more than anything I could possibly impart to you. Okay? The 3 things I gave you: stop leading with tools and tasks, rewrite your case studies in business language, and apply to fewer jobs with higher relevance. I promise you, if you do nothing else but those 3 things, you're going to see different results. Okay? Hang in there. If you want to talk more about this, hit me up in the comments. I'm more than happy to talk to you about anything, okay, via DM. In the meantime, hang in there, believe in yourself, and remember to always be moving onward and upward.